deaths. Just honestly, it really shouldn't have been that close. Up 20,000, back down to 0, back up 20,000. If you tuned out thinking that they were going to run away with that game, you might have just thought it went 30 extra minutes. But yeah, that game, a good way to end this series. And we'll be back with Viking GG against GODSENT. And then after that is OG Seed against Infinity. I'm your caster B-Cop, joined here by Mofar. We'll be back with the next series in just a moment. Stay right there. Get yourself something to drink or something to eat, but head right on back.
You know it.
She loves the night and all it brings. She dances among the shiny things. She's lost in a land of make-believe. Night after night she never sleeps. Although there's a love that waits for her beyond the day. We're worlds apart, but we're the same. She takes the taxi home at 3 a.m. And she is the story told by many men, but they don't know what she could be. And they think of beauty surface deep, but I know eventually she'll find me. So why can't I turn the hands of time forward until we are together? I'll wait for the day to come when you'll be mine. Yeah, again, forever. Just over the sun.
All right, and welcome back. More Hainan Masters Spring Invitational EU Close qualifiers coming at you as we've now got our second series of the day. And, well, we're in it with GODSENT against Viking GG. Or Viking. I don't know how they...
Yeah, just say Viking. It's fine.
Viking? It's fine? All right, Viking against GODSENT. Both of them have the .gg, interestingly enough, at the end of their names. So, as we see, OKCia, Wish, Era, Noya, and Boogie against Solari, Toby, Shad, Aramis, and Boom. With that first pick,
Yeah, we see
Disruptor.
Yeah, see, this Disruptor pick is just so popular, so valuable at the moment. It just does so much. I can understand that coming through. Something like Magnus is still in the pool if they want to go for it as well here on GODSENT. Wow. Early SF pick.
Straight into the Lich SF as well.
I mean, we saw a lot of the CIS teams before in the qualifiers for the last mate. Like, first phase this SF a lot. And they take the Magnus on Viking. Okay, fair enough.
Ooh.
Oh. You didn't see anything, guys. Honestly. Didn't happen.
There was nothing there the entire time. No worries. So Magnus Disruptor. We've seen how good the Disruptor can be. Puck banned by Viking.
I'm expecting a Rubik ban here from Viking as well. One of the heroes that probably deals with Mag the best. Yeah, there you go. God, I'm so good at this.
Orgs, are you taking notice?
Yeah.
Did you just hear that?
'Cause you gotta big yourself up sometimes, you know. They probably want to be banning out mid heroes that are decent against Shadow Fiend, so maybe something like a TA might be banned here. But Magnus could just be mid as well, so they might want to ban Vision heroes like Beastmaster that work well with the Glimpse. Dude, how do you do this? Like, I just...
I'm not gonna say anything. I don't want to take away from what's going on right now.
They banned Doom. Okay, I didn't get time to call that one. That's not my fault. Oh, guys.
He was thinking it.
Yeah. I definitely thought. I just didn't say it out loud. Like this one as well. What do they want to ban here? Maybe like some hero that, like a PL that uses the Empower, I guess. That'd be okay.
5 seconds remaining.
Or Slark might be an okay ban here as well, actually. Depends. Oh, they banned Veno. Interesting. Not one that I would have guessed. I know Viking have liked to run it in the past, but...
Now that you got one wrong, I guess I'll join back in here.
Yeah. The solo cast is over.
It's embarrassing, you know.
Dire team pick.
Didn't get them all right. Elder Titan picked up here for the side of GODSENT. Were you thinking that at all? Because I wasn't.
It's interesting because this hero's like faded away for quite a while, right? And it started to picking up in popularity again. I know GH played it a lot at the minor. He did a really good job on it, actually. Had to be said. There were some really impressive performances by him. And it's really good disengage for the Disruptor Magnus. They have really strong side lanes as well now on GODSENT. It's the big thing.
I remember back in the day where you used to send Elder Titan into your safe lane, stack the nearest camp, not pull it, just stack it as many times as you could, and then send the Astral Spirit into that as well as over into the lane, and then just go for right clicks.
There's a Russian guy that made a video where they stacked like loads of camps on the map, right? And the Titan sends out the Spirit top lane, TP's bottom. The Spirit goes through all the creep camps on the way, and he like hits for like plus 1,000 damage when it gets back to him at like minute 10 or something. It was so funny.
Jesus.
And he starts like one-hitting supports.
You're gonna have to send me that.
I'll try and find it. Yeah, Tusk is interesting.
5 seconds remaining.
They have a really good tri-lane potential now in Viking with the Disruptor and the Tusk. The Snowball Save is also really good as well. The other thing is that this Tusk makes it really difficult for Shadow Fiend in the mid. Like, if they pick up... They could play Magnus mid, but if they pick up another mid hero that does well with, like, early kill potential, all of a sudden there's, like, a shard block onto the SF, and he just dies.
Would say something like Queen of Pain be possible here mid for Viking?
Maybe. That hero's pretty bad at the moment, I think. I know RNG like to play it, but I think that hero's pretty underwhelming in general.
Dire team pick.
Ooh. Ursa.
Well, I thought about this Ursa, right, because the Veno got banned, and you think about side laners that really suffer against Veno.
Now, I know you're not going to believe me, but I was thinking Drow for Viking. I know you're not going to believe me. I wish I could record my thoughts and throw them into the mic. But I was thinking it.
Is it even a good Drow game, though?
I think it's all right. Especially you, because you're talking about tri-lane potential. Like, I feel like this is a tri-lane that could do a lot.
5
Yeah.
seconds remaining.
I guess so, but I feel like at some point in the game, the Ursa just runs at the... and makes their life, like, really difficult. The Gust is really good, though, against Ursa. The Silence is really key to stop him getting that, What's the ult called? Is it Enrage? No, that's the other one. No, it is Enrage. It's overpowers the Fury Swipes one.
Do you
Overpowers the
think
one
that
makes him
maybe
attack a lot.
Drow, if it's a tri-lane, wants to set up against the Ursa?
Possibly. It's decent in the lane up against the... But he needs the protection. Like, he'll need a Tusk or something to stop the Ursa from just running at the Drow. Especially when the lane pushes up the Drow's tower. Like, if you play off-lane tri-lane with Disruptor Tusk Drow, it's not like Elder Titan Lich are bad in tri-lanes, right?
5 seconds remaining.
So we'll see what they want to do here with this final ban. They banned the Bat Rider.
Yeah, it's a really good ban. It destroys Ursa in the lane. Absolutely destroys him. I've been playing some support bat recently. It's really fun. Sometimes you take the flame break at level 2 and it just just kills people. It's so good.
Yeah, I feel like we see that a lot, actually, just sticking napalm into the flame break, level 2.
Like, they don't want to give Viking the opportunity to pick something that destroys Ursa in the lane. Like, they want the Ursa to have a good start. Like, with some kind of kill threat.
I do worry a bit about GODSENT's lockdown in some ways. Actually, I kind of worry about both teams, where you're dealing with, what, shards, kinetic field, glimpse, walrus punch, RP.
They have glimpse, though, as well, which is, like, really good for... It's not a stun, but, like, you have kinetic field as well. But even so, I worry for Radiant's catch more than anything. They need some hero that, like, offers them catch and a little bit of team fight as well. Maybe, like... I mean, Underlord's not great. Like a Sand King, maybe? Might be okay. But you want something that plays with the Elder Titan as well.
Dire
Maybe
team
like-
pick.
Well, the Persia has gone. They could pick something like a Legion as well on Godsent maybe, but I don't know how good that is. It's really good against the Disruptor in the laning stage because you just press the attack off the Thunderstrike.
Radiant team pick.
Okay. I'm not a huge fan of Brewmaster currently, but
I think it's really good against Ursa.
yeah,
I'm
the
pretty sure the
control is
Dispel
really
takes
nice.
off the overpower stacks.
And just being able to kite that Ursa too. It just seems like so much going right for the Brew in this matchup. But I just personally, I'm not a
10 seconds
huge
remaining.
fan.
I mean, it's a really good Persia. It takes off the Frost Shield, it takes off the Spirit
Seconds remaining.
from the Titan because it can be dispelled now. Takes off the overpower stacks, and it's really good against these lineups that require one hero to do a lot of damage in their lineup. So things like SF, if they just get tornadoed up in the air, all of a sudden their lineup looks really poor. Like they don't do a huge amount of damage without him. I'd quite like to see something like a Darkseer here though as well. Plays well with the Elder Titan in the lane, give the Iron Show to the Ursa as well. And I think it abuses the fact they have bad lockdown on this Dire side.
Get yourself a vacuum wall into a Requiem.
The only thing is, like, they might want more hard lockdown for the Brewmaster to try and kill him off before the duel before the split goes off. Yeah, and so I was going to say they should
Your heroes.
look for something different, like the Legion with the duel. And it's one of Boogie's favorite heroes, I think. Oh, is Kezu not playing for this team? Actually, that's a good point by somebody in the chat.
Yeah, Kezu is playing for Infinity.
Ah, right, that was it. Because I know he used to play on Godsent, didn't he?
I think so, just recently, right? It still says he's on there, actually, on his Wikipedia.
So Boogie playing the offlane now instead? Who do you think? I prefer the Dyer's lineup. But you have to remember, Viking was the team to have Tanner before. We haven't talked about this yet. So having a new mid laner in Boom now, I feel like Tanner was such a big part of how they played before. He was playing really well, which is why Nip, picked him up. So it'll be interesting to see how Viking do without him now.
I do kind of wonder, though, like, does it throw off everything? Is this draft, like, as much as I like it on the Dire, is it going to be enough? Like, Godsent here, I think, can do quite a bit. Ow!
Hey, you alright?
I just hit my knee so hard. I did not mean to say the ouch out loud, but that really hurt. Oh, sorry for my
F in the chat for Big
unprofessional ouch there. Jesus. I hit like right in the middle of the kneecap where it really sucks.
I think he just really dislikes the Legion pick, guys. I think
I
that's
actually really like the Legion pick. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Although
That's
it's not,
what they would say.
it's not that Legion Skywrath combo. Yeah, see, even Tusk cares.
How long has Neuer been around for? I'm pretty sure this guy's been around on the scene.
Didn't he used to play with Imperial?
Yes, and Danish Bears.
Back in the day. He's been around forever. Noya's 30? Is he the oldest
Yes.
player on the scene right now?
I think Fear is older, right?
Fear is 31.
Yeah.
And he's only... he's about a year older than him. Okay. Alright. Cool. So, Toby here on the Brewmaster. Aramis on the Tusk. So... Huh, okay. No, I was gonna say something
30
stupid.
seconds to battle.
I'm.
These fireworks are so ridiculous. The fact that they're allowed in a tournament game.
It's fine. Imagine
Last
playing Clockwork though.
last year, I don't know if you remember the fireworks event last year and all that. FY and a lot of the Chinese teams bought thousands of fireworks. Thousands. To the point where they were just constantly spamming it in lane. It was disgusting. I couldn't believe it.
But that's
And-
fine.
You'd see
gotta
them dip
celebrate.
under 1,000. Yeah, you did have to celebrate. You'd watch them get under 1,000 though, and then like in between games, they'd go out and buy like 100 more stacks.
Was the year? What was the event with the Year Beast? Was that Chinese New Year?
2 or 3 years ago, yeah, right.
Yeah. Maybe they do it again this year, dude. Interesting. Wish starts the late with a long race onto the Magnus.
So it is a tri-lane down here, but I think it's just a tri-lane trying to get first blood.
Oh, the
At
ET's
least for the
coming
Dire.
in though.
Yeah, he's ready to go in. Noya trying to get something down, or Shock, and Aramis will dive for first blood.
I really don't like when support players do that and they take the last hit for themselves on the first, but it's so much gold to go to your Ursa to help his laning stage.
And then you see the Disruptor move over towards top immediately.
Yeah, they just wanted to try and get first blood before he rotated him away.
Yeah, that was what the tri-lane was for, and I think I mentioned that, or I thought I mentioned that. Just because you usually see that tri-lane and it like breaks up. I don't know if they're going to keep the tri-lane bottom for GODSENT, though. I think the Legion are they going to sacrifice his lane? Or at least maybe get first blood here, or not first blood, a second kill here over bottom on top of the first blood that they got is what I wanted to say. And
I thought
immediately
they'd
on
put the
boots.
tusk. I thought they'd put the tusk with the Duran, put the disruptor with the Brewmaster, because now all of a sudden you're putting this disruptor against the Legion commander in lane, and he just keeps purging off your Thunderstrike. I don't really understand that thought process.
Now Elder Titans made the shift towards top. It's put Ursa into quick boots, but I feel like they could just keep going here. If they had kept the Elder Titan, they could just keep going and keep getting kills in this bottom lane. What is there really to stop them? And if you could get really quick phase boots on the Era, why not?
The thing is, though, you have to remember that this Ursa is a hero that does really well with XP. There are certain heroes that don't want to tri-lane constantly because they want the XP. Things like Gyrocopter and like Drow are good examples of that as well. Where they do really well with levels. So you want to try and force them to go towards that lane top instead. Do they have a kinetic field or anything? Do.
They do, but overwhelming odds, and they're deterred enough for Elder Titan to survive. So, at least for right now, GODSENT, they feel like they're in a pretty good spot. They've got 15 last hits already here onto Era, who's looking into those early phase boots. He had boots pretty quickly, so I assume these phase boots, especially with the way he's laning right now, should come out quickly as well.
This SF is having an absolutely free lane mid though. Mac's gone back to the jungle. And he just has 11 denies on the... He's starting to pull ahead. I'm sure he will be in terms of XP as well.
They're avoiding the shards.
I like how you look at it in a positive way. Instead of saying missing shits, that the Ursa avoided them. Whereas I'd be like, that guy just missed his shards.
They force the salve out on the Brewmaster, and yeah, Era is having a great time. Drow's 18-5, but it feels like things are going a lot better for GODSENT overall.
Yeah, I mean, look at Wish though. He has this DD haste, and he's like, this mag's jungling somewhere.
Dire's middle tower
I
is
just
under
want
attack.
him. This ET hasn't really achieved too much up here,
Dire's
though.
middle tower is under
At least it's
attack.
meaning that the Legion can actually have a bit more of a lane, at least, but hasn't really offered any threat as such. I think they tried to shard the Lich bot, but missed again. Oh, sorry, dodged.
Ooh. Stomp missing. Solari looking for the kinetic field, not gonna land it. Just a little bit short. And now the bounty is picked up 3-1.
Yeah, I was gonna say they pick up 3 tiles. That's pretty good going, considering especially how this SF's game's going. If you look at the net worth overall, like they're 2k up already from those 2 kills and the SF having such a good time.
Ursa going after Toby. I don't know what Toby's going to do to survive this if he does choose to dive under the tower. But he thinks against it.
That was well played by Toby, though, to hold that for when...
Oh. Go on.
No, I can't say anything good about him anymore. Sorry. He doesn't deserve it now.
Oh,
You have to add
Toby.
it.
Toby left
It's not-
casting for this.
I know, right? I hate that. That's every time in Twitch chat. Every time.
Oh my gosh. So, for right now, I mean, GODSENT must feel amazing. 3-0, 38-23 on the Shadow Fiend. They're going to lose the Legion Commander here. It costs 3 heroes going top, which obviously makes things a little bit easier for the Ursa down bottom, but they might get a trade. Aramis on the run. Multi-shot comes in. Noya still giving chase. He was slowed up for a moment. Can he get into the trees? Melee range. There it is.
Dire's
Love the staple gun.
under attack.
Ooh. ET's such a crazy hero in the lane east. I'm surprised it got ignored for the while that it did. This SF has 26 denies, by the way. Oh, and Disrupt Text and the
Solari, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. They'll get the sweep with this. I think Boogie was wishing he was 6 at the moment. And okay, see ya again. Yeah.
It's a lot of gold. Because eventually what happens is you build up a kill streak on the Lich, and then one of the cores on the other team just takes it away.
Well, he's probably saying to his carries, if you were good at your job, then you wouldn't let me die.
Yeah, that's true. It's always the carry's fault.
I mean, that's true.
I wonder what item the Ursa goes for next. Like, whether he feels... I've seen some people go for like, drums early on, aggression. Some people just rush a Basher. Some people like to get the Mask of Death thing to help them farm a little bit and sustain.
Well, when Ursa was
What?
really... He must have glimpsed him as he dueled.
Yeah.
If Ursa was... When he was, like, really popular, what was it, like a month or 2 ago? I think pre-neutral items. Or, like, right as they came out. We were seeing Ursa's go straight abyssal.
Yes. But
Was
that's
that
the thing, you
before
don't
neutrals?
need all the smaller items, because the neutral items do it for you. Have they got dual shoot?
No, they just used it. Still on cooldown for a little bit.
They could have waited 15 seconds, he wasn't going anywhere.
TP's out right under his nose.
Yeah, just... Well, if he TPs, you kill him, but, you know. You just wait. Just body block him in.
So already a 4,000 net worth lead here for GODSENT.
I mean, they're having such a good time, but it's all in the cause. Like, the supports are a little bit ahead. Especially the position 5s, but this SF is just so far ahead. And actually, the Ursa's keeping up, but...
Is under attack.
Look at this disruptor. He's 540 net worth. 472 net worth. Oh my god, it's going down. Oh! What?
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 Did...
And
What
they
just
still got the
happened?
kill. What?
What did I just watch? Okay, well...
I'm not gonna lie, my head hurts a little bit from that. Wish
Wish
gets a
kills
kill on the Shad, and now they've got the Sinister Gaze. They'll lock up Solari to get yet another kill. Now OKC is on that killing spree, so the bounty's getting bigger and bigger.
Structures are fortified.
I think Aramis might just die here. There's no way he survives this, right?
He tries to sneak through. He's got the snowball to extend his life, but Boogie backover's got duel. However, Shards making this harder.
That's it. That's the one. I mean, this SF's just doing so much work. Like, nobody can contest him at the moment.
And Disruptor will
But at
take
least he,
that outpost.
Good for the rotation by the Disruptor to force that. Oh,
They're gonna go for this Ursa.
can they TP?
I
on
don't
the
know
range?
what the TP situation looks like.
Oh, what a jump!
Oh!
He has
Cyclone?
ult still as well.
Does he survive here? He's got
No
6
way.
Swan charges. Wow. Era, so good.
Dire's
Snowball's gonna come in.
Monster.
But jump. Shards still got him, and the Walrus Punch. He didn't get over the Shards.
He didn't use ulti. Oh no.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The SF picked up a faded brooch as well, by the way. One of the best tier 1 items going. Maybe the best. Really good on someone like Elder Titan. Good for himself as well in these early stages of the game.
I'm definitely a fan of Royal Jelly. I think that's so good.
Yeah, Jelly's pretty good as well. I just think brooch with... It's like a Windlace plus like mana, right? Which is good on so many heroes.
Yesterday I was playing a game as Ancient Apparition. Speaking of neutral items, we did so well in my lane, I got a 7-minute Midas. Yeah, that's right, I go Midas on my Ancient Apparition. What of it? Don't at me.
One of those.
Then I got I got a quick into the 90 gold per minute, and I got a Philosopher's Stone. I was making gold hand over fist.
Radiant structures.
It was amazing.
I love it when you play games with Disruptor and you get like Telescope and Keen Optic. And
Woo,
everything.
Solari, and that Chain Frost goes all the way down, but doesn't bounce after Shad. I thought it might. Press the attack comes through onto the Shadow Fiend, who's taking a lot of damage still. Snowball comes over. They've got Wish Dead to rights. Now they'll look over at Boogie. Chase for more. RP comes in. They'll get the kill.
Well played by the Dice side. They're using their team fight advantage in these big engagements at the moment. Still a
Yeah.
little bit behind on gold, but they've got to make the most of it when they can.
And this time they hit the RP, so...
What
I mean,
did
they
he do
got
on
the
the
kill regardless up top, so it didn't matter.
So he did go drums on the Ursa. I'm not 100% sold on this, but the movement speed's always nice. Good stats.
Aramis. That's a great combination. Sinister Gaze into the stomp.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower.
That's actually such a good combo.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So still a 4,000 net worth lead. And Era actually falling behind on the Magnus, but Magnus, of course, has the Empower. He stacks for himself.
Good guy.
Something we've been seeing a lot from in some of these, cores. TA stacks for herself. You can see SF stack for himself, and then usually like Golden Druid could do the same thing as well. There's a lot of heroes that can stack for themselves efficiently in the laning phase. Obviously, right there, it's not,
Oh, the creep slowed him. Oh no.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
halfway into this
If
Blink
that-
Dagger.
If that creep hadn't slowed the Disruptor, then I think he
Oh,
actually
the Chain
gets it.
Frost. He forces out the Primal Split. He's probably going to die here. And it's a 5-time spree going the way of this Brewmaster. Which is one of the things we talked about in the fact that when your supports get that much of a spree going, it could become a problem. Cyclone comes out into the Ursa. Back to form in just a second is Toby. Raze is missing. And now they've got the Static Storm on 2 of these heroes. They'll throw the Requiem out. They'll fear this Magnus, and they've got the duel. Do they have the damage? It looks like they do, just in time. However, they will not get anybody else.
Somebody has to deal with the Drow in these fights. She's doing just too much. Like, Shad's getting a lot of damage off here. Like, that multi-shot did a huge amount. And that's a massive shame for the Dire side, because they use static, they use the split on the brew, and they don't really get a huge amount from it. You know, when you're popping on these big ults, you're expecting to be able to win these fights heavily. Because the next few minutes, if the Radiant get a little bit more aggressive here, you know, they don't have those big spells to work.
For the dead.
Shad stacking for himself as well. Philosopher's Stone coming in for the Radiant side. Can hand that over to either of these heroes, supports.
He just takes it for himself, dude. Wants all the gold. He
Are scanning.
farms the razors anyway. He doesn't hit anyone. It just feels so good as a support player when you see that Philosopher's Stone.
You know it's coming your way.
Like, oh boy.
I'll take that.
They do still have RP up on the Dire
Oh,
side.
look at that. Great two-man RP.
Oh,
Static
wow.
Storm with the Snowball and the Glimpse onto the Ursa. Sends him right into the hands of the Brewmaster. He'll use that ulti, try to get away with the Earthshock. Has made some space for himself and gets all the way away.
I always forget how low of a cooldown Static Storm. It's like 90 seconds. Which is hardly anything, really, when you think about how powerful it is.
It definitely seems like a nerfable skill if they want to get rid of Disruptor in the scene.
Yeah, Thunderstrike and Static Storm need a little bit of touching. It's like, you know, how they did with Void, where they cool down of Chrono a little bit and makes the hero just a bit worse. Means you can't just constantly look to fight all the time. I think Chrono now has like 140-second cooldown at level. It's a really long time.
Radiant's middle tower.
Think about losing that Aegis. It feels like that 4,000 net worth lead, even though they're still up 2,000, is gone. Like that lead seems irrelevant now.
Well, it's in the supports, right? Like, the ET to the Disruptor is 1,200. The Lich to the Tusk is like another 400 or so. The cores on the Dire side are doing okay. You expect the Magnus to be a little bit further ahead, which is a worry, because just of how quickly he farms, but
Tower is under attack.
they're not, you know, they're not doing too badly. They've got the Aegis as well to work with, so.
Another shawl picked up.
Yeah, big pickup for the Lich there, I imagine that one.
Radiant's top
Master top. They'll look for the Blink Duel to come in. Can they get the damage out? It looks like they can, and they will. How much damage is it? 40. Okay. Not bad for 17 minutes.
It feels so good as a Legion whenever you win a duel. Like, just mentally, right? Like, you get those games where you get like one duel win in 30 minutes, and you're like, oh, my hero sucks now. But no, they're doing okay. I really like this halberd pickup he's going for as well on the Legion.
tower is under attack.
You throw that on the Drow, and it feels like their team fight kind of falls off a lot.
Oh, even the Magnus as well is pretty good.
Press the attack on the run, skewer forward. Now the turn. They've got themselves the stomp. Glimpse comes out, and they'll drop down the Chain Frost. They'll get the kill on a Solari. Lotus Punch on Anoia, so they'll at least trade for the Elder Titan. RP used on the Shadow Fiend. The damage from the low ground from this
Good
Drow.
purge though.
They've also
Well
caught
played by
Era
the
for a
Legion.
moment. They've got the stun. Gust onto the high ground. Won't hit. They have the Shrine to activate. How far are you willing to fight on that?
Do they have any catch though on the Radiant side? Okay, they got,
Got
the Frost Shield.
Earthshock to slow down as well as the Frost Shield. Multi-shot comes in as
Is
well
that-
as the Skewer. They've got Ursa alone who will pop the ulti. Gus comes in, silencing the Shadow Fiend as well as the Legion Commander, but they still haven't gotten the kill onto the SF or the Legion. They finally take out Era though.
They're just lacking so much catch on this Radiant
And they're
side,
still
which-
going in.
But yeah, like,
Boogie, overwhelming
so
odds. Oh, great sleep.
they're just lacking catch. Like, this Drow is just doing whatever she wants. Like, they get a good RP off onto the SF, gets purged off, and he instantly uses his BKB, but achieves nothing with it. Because this SF can't hit anybody because they're not being controlled.
middle tower has fallen.
And you have to remember they had the Aegis as well. Like, it wasn't just an easy fight for the Radiant side.
Radiant are scanning.
Oh, another shawl for the Disruptor as well. Pretty good.
Both supports on both sides feeling very happy this game. Especially with the Philosopher's Stone out on the Godsent. Although Magnus...
I think they gave the Philosopher's Stone to the ET. Because he's gaining passive goal a little bit quicker than everybody else.
So if you're Elder Titan, what is that going... Ooh, hold on. Static Storm with the skewer back, and Era ends up very dead.
I love how he's just being thrown around. Just like skewered into gusted. Probably a glimpse before as well. It's so hard to play this game without a BKB. Just because of the Disruptor.
Is under attack.
So what is the plan for an Elder Titan that's got a Philosopher's Stone? What does that extra gold go towards?
I mean, there's a lot of items. You could build like something like a medallion into a solar crystal if you want to. 4 staff's really good here. Well, you could go for your own BKB into at some point in the game if you like.
Dire are scanning.
Definitely feels like Viking GG have recovered very well. It definitely looks scary early on. And now they've got a 1,000 net worth lead. Where did it fall apart for Godsent, though? Was it not that it fell apart, but that it turned on for Viking?
I mean, they just can't take these big 5-on-5 engagements. Like, it's the same in the series we saw earlier, where it's first pick Disruptor Mag, right? And then they just know they're always going to have a good teamfight advantage. And then they pick up this Brewmaster later on in the draft as well. So whenever these big engagements happen, like the Radiant haven't got enough in their tank to fight into this big AoE.
Static Storm being such a low cooldown, they want to use it as often as possible as Aramis gets a kill there on OKC.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Things just get tough for Godsent now, and they've got the BKB on Wish, but they need one on the Ursa as well.
But even when he gets BKB right, like they have ways of dealing with it. Like they have RP as a snowball that they can use to kite the BKB duration around. They have 4 staff. I think there's a Hurricane Pike on the Drow. They'll probably get more 4 staffs as well on their team. Like there's Skewer on the Magnus if he wants to get away.
I've got the BKB on the Magnus too. And I believe, does he have that E-Blade coming out?
He's going Lincoln's, I think. Yeah, he is. For the duel. I like that more because, like, if you think about it, if you're playing Drow this game, what's your threat? What are you worried about? The duel is probably the main way that you're going to die, right? So if you, like, find a way of nullifying that, because there's not really much else to help with the duel, like, in terms of, like, taking out Lincoln's Fizz. It's like Frost Blast, maybe a Halberd from the
Sinister
Legion.
Gaze. That's about it.
Like I love that the Lich Axe, by the way, isn't it AoE Sinister Gaze?
Yeah.
Like, when is somebody ever going to build that?
They're going to look for the sweep, but
Big
it's not going to come
silence.
out because of the silence, and now they'll look for Boogie. They've got the Snowball, Walrus Punch, and the kill.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And they can look to just push bot tier 2 here. Radiant SF on the other side of the map, probably going to look to try and return top lane. No, he's actually just scared. He's going to try and just farm up for now.
Radiant's bottom tower.
And they're just going to go BKB on the Ursa. And Shadow Fiend just trying to farm as well. It's not a good situation for Godsent anymore. And it's a big problem when this drow, they have not been able to touch the drow, it seems like. And we were talking about how much damage the drow's been doing.
Look how tanky this disruptor is. He has 1700 HP.
And
Like,
how do
because he
you
has this
jump?
People's Gift and Heart.
How do you jump the disruptor? They've got the silence there onto the Lich. They'll get the easy kill. What do you, what do you do?
Like, if you want to kill the disruptor. If you want to kill him before he gets his spells off, you literally have to throw like a jewel onto him. Or like Ursa has to blow everything to kill him off.
Paladin Sword's alright here, but still not exactly the best thing.
Titan Sliver, probably put it on the Magnus. I'm pretty sure Titan Sliver increases your base damage, right?
I believe so.
Neutral items. Yeah, base attack damage. So Empower works off of base attack damage. Oh, they actually give it to the Drow. Okay.
And going after the Tusk has the Basher. We'll end up getting that kill. Seems like Godsent, well, at least for now, they've got numbers coming over towards top. They're going to look for this Disruptor again. The only way you kill him is with the Blink Duel.
There's nobody here, though.
Goes into the
Like, yeah,
trees,
Disruptor,
they
but-
spot him, and can they get the duel off? They can, but now they need to follow it up with the damage, and they will, just getting the duel in time. Ooh. 58 duel damage, which is good for the Legion, but again, you still need to be able to do something with that damage.
Yeah, but they haven't killed any of the cores. Like, it's not a massive thing. Is the problem.
Yeah.
Dire's courier has been killed.
They need to be able to get more from this. Like, if Roche was up now, they would have been really good pickoffs, but they can't get any objectives from the kills. Because it's only just spawned now.
Enchanted Quiver coming in for Viking.
Well, that's a nice drow eye.
Let's see. I'm not sure. Does Godsent have their entire neutral tier 3?
I think so. They've got the telescope. They picked up a... Oh, what was it? I'm going to have to go on Dota so I remind myself. But they picked up a paladin sword on the Ursa, didn't they?
Yeah.
And there was another one. I can't remember what it was. E.T., King of the Roche Pit.
Making
Very
sure
difficult to
nobody's
fight
allowed to
into.
go in there.
Just gives you so much vision. I guess Disruptors are pretty good as well. Are they going to smoke as well? Yeah, they are. Okay. This Drow's pretty strong, to be fair, with this Titan Sliver as well.
Doesn't look like they're heading right over towards the Radiant side. And now there's the Enchanted Quiver for Godsent.
I assume we give it to the SF, but I'm not actually sure. He doesn't really have a slot. I guess he does the DD in a bottle, which you could change up.
Radiant are scanning.
So they'll come over. They'll hold the shrine area here of the opposing team. They walk back over towards Roche, and like you said, ET, master of the Roche pit. Boogie, though, gets spotted. And on the back line, Static Storm plays down. They've got the BKB. The Walrus Punch comes in as well as the RP. I don't know what Ursa's doing here by himself, but that seems to be a very botched play without his team. They're going to try and turn this around, but they've got the glimpse as well as the damage
another
coming in.
green.
I think the glimpse really saves Wish there, and now they're forced to back off.
The thing is, even with the Ursa dead, it's still really hard to go it because of this TET. Like, yeah, they're going to try and look to find more here instead.
Walrus
like this
Punch
choice a
comes
lot.
in. Boogie, he's still alive. Snowball comes out. Chain Frost was thrown. They'll also get the Primal Split off. Can they get the damage out on Aramis? It doesn't look like it. Force staff away. The BKB being popped by Wish, but the damage
Wish's
comes out from
BKB.
Shad is way more than he's able to handle. Sweep hits on it too. Boogie, I'm not sure what you're looking to accomplish in that spot. but it certainly
dis out?
isn't a kill because you're not gonna get it.
And ET, the only one alive, but
Will end up surviving just because
was
he's so far
pretty cool.
back.
I thought he was going to try and kill the Tusk there with a spirit. But... Gets out. Oh, tag team's so good against Roche. Game, you're looking pretty good for the Dire though. Like this early BKB from the SF hasn't really achieved anything.
Dire's top
And as the BKB duration goes down, they're going to feel more confident on this Dire side. I don't know what the Ursa was doing in that fight at the start though, right? Where he got caught on the top side of the pit.
All by himself too. I don't really understand the thought process there.
He pops BKB and he gets Static Storm, so you think he's fine, but all of a sudden he comes, and the Legion isn't anywhere near you to purge it off. So your BKB duration just gets completely wasted, and they just mow you down. We've had some pretty long games actually today, to be fair.
Average-wise,
Like,
yeah.
Considering how many like games finish really quickly, like in the minor and stuff. I was expecting, same things here, but the level of execution, not quite at the same level here. So
We'll see if Viking can just hold on to this lead. We've seen plenty of leads kind of be wasted. They go for the outpost. Viking, they're just controlling the map up quite a bit, and they're going to go after and get themselves the tier 1 top.
are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
It definitely seems like things are very much lacking for GODSENT. I don't know
Dire's bottom tower
how they find themselves back into this game with BKBs feeling almost useless.
fallen.
yeah, like they have RP, they have ways of kiting it, like we talked about before. The Strauss just massive at this point.
Tower is
Like, she feels really strong.
They're looking to even go high ground at the moment.
Like normally when you're pushing high ground like this and you get stomped like that, you have to be like, oh god, they're gonna come onto us. But she has Aegis, like she has an E-Blade, she's so tanky. Even when you get stomped like there on the draw, what are you scared of?
bottom tower is under attack.
What is there to be afraid of?
Dire's structures are fortified.
They go up on the high ground, they'll glyph, but
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
how long does that allow them to hold?
Yeah, they
Look at
glitch
where
and,
Shad's
glyph
hitting in
and
from.
Frost Shield at the same time as well, so
Dire's middle tower is
a little bit wasted. SF takes bot tier 2, but he's losing his racks at the same time. They seem to be letting this go here. They know they can't
Ursa's
really
pushing
defend,
mid
so-
too.
Yeah, they can't defend, so they're just trying to get whatever they can in the meantime. But I think the Dire are just going to move mid after that.
top barracks.
And they have to fight at some point, right?
Radiant's top barracks.
Why was the split used?
I got the Cyclone
Okay.
out.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top shrine is under attack.
Bit of a weird split, but secures the Rack's retreat, I guess.
Radiant's top shrine has
Which
fallen.
without the Ursa there anyway, I don't think anybody's getting caught.
I like the Abyssal though on the Ursa. They have to be able to get on top of this Drow and try and bring her down quickly. She's the biggest worry for them. And she's been pretty much untouched the whole game, it feels like.
But even if you get onto the Drow, if the team's waiting, if Viking's waiting, they're just gonna RP you.
Mm-hmm. It's a big problem. They have the purge to be able to take the stun from the RP off, but like they have to be in the right position to make that happen. I don't know if does Legion have a blink? I haven't actually seen Legion's items in ages. Yeah, they're just gonna go mid. And this Ursa still doesn't have his Abyssal Blade. Like, what's your... They have no glyph here either. What's their answer?
He's also still pushing out bot.
Like, you could stall with the ET for as long as you want, but you have to be able to take a fight at some point.
Tower has fallen.
And there's the blink into the duel. Let's see if they can get the kill. And no, good snowball save. They've also laid down the static storm. So Legion in trouble. They'll end up losing Boogie. He'll buy back immediately. Skewer into the RP. They catch Era coming in. Wow. Toby gets low. He's not dead. Shad turns it. Aramis
Aegis is just about to
gone,
disappear, I think, so they have to be quick.
Sleep comes through onto 2, and now they're going to look with Era popping the BKB. Aegis will expire. They've got the glimpse, but it's not going to matter. And there's the Sinister Gaze to pull Solari close, and he ends up dead. So right now it's only 2 gone for the side of Viking, with a couple of buybacks used here for GODSENT, attempting to TP out, but Era gets the kill.
But Shad survives. They lose their melee racks as well, so still not a great fight for the Radiant side, considering there are 2 buybacks on top of.
Things just don't get easier for the side of GODSENT, it feels.
Yeah, I'm assuming the Ursa didn't get to finish his Abyssal either now, because he's brought back, so he probably wouldn't have had the gold for both. That just puts him further behind towards that big item that he really needs. There is no brew for 60 seconds here, though, so they really want to try and make something happen at least. Baits them with the snowball.
They try to make a last-ditch effort through mid, but I mean, how long could they really push forward for? They're only down the brew.
There's no way they can go high ground, and Roche isn't up either. So, same as before, they win a fight, but what do they get for it?
They bought back, so if they lose the Ursa again, or Ursa Legion, it feels like the game might just be over right there and then. So up 9k. And Viking need to not be careful.
The SF has all this net worth, right? And it feels like we haven't seen him at all. Is that unfair?
No. I mean, he's 5-2 and 4. His KDA is, you know, it's okay. But look at Shad. He's 9-1 and 5. They haven't been able to kill him, and he's been just shooting shots out from a distance.
I like this play by Viking, by the way. You see this top lane pushing in? Like, somebody from the Radiant side is going to have to deal with that. So when somebody shows, they might be able to just try and pick quickly. But still just hovering around the Roche bit here, understanding it's going to be spawning relatively soon. Or at least minimum spawn time hitting. They want to be able to control that hill.
You think they need to wait for the next stages? I mean,
yeah, I think to be safe, you would, right? Yeah, maybe they can fight without it, but there's no need to. Like, they're in such a dominant position, they don't have to force a bad fight. Just wait for all the stars to align, get all the things that you need. And it's going to be, looks like about a medium spawn kind of time, probably about a minute and a half. Maybe a little bit quicker, actually. About a minute or so.
So 5-man smoke coming in here from GODSENT.
Yeah, they want to smoke now that they know the Roche, like, minimum spawner time is hit. Whew.
Snowball. All the way over, and they've got the Sinister Gaze. They'll get the kill on Aramis, who does have a buyback. And
this
the Roche timer is pretty quick.
You see, like, the Tusker walks up the hill, gets crit, and loses half his HP, and it's pretty scary. Viking doing a really good job of playing around their vision, though, at the moment. Done a bit of a swapperoo with their positioning.
So Wish coming over, looking to spot somebody, but Boom could just turn this around if he's not too careful. The buyback on the Tusk. he's going to be able to come in over on the outpost. They've got the Abyssal Blade as well as the dual victory on Toby, so they won't have a Brewmaster with the Primal Split,
yes,
but
that's going
immediately he's
big.
going to go in and buy back and look to go over to the outpost as well. BKB's been popped by Wish. They get the kill on a Solari. It's a 3-man silence and great shards.
Ooh. They couldn't get the duel off, and the SF Requiem just misses to cancel the team.
Well, they didn't have duel. I think they were trying to do is just get some sort of bash in, and Solari now great shards again. They'll glimpse him away, and how long are you willing to chase? Again, how far can you go? If Wish gets caught, that's a problem.
Yeah, the fact that Celery doesn't get caught off though is really big because Disruptor did just buy back. They just blow the RP and the Static Storm though on the SF, and he just instantly turns around and kills them. Like, if you're going to be committing that much to one hero and nobody else, you have to make sure you're going to be able to bring them down.
Now they're going to smoke
They
again,
don't have
but
RP
this
here.
could be catastrophic if they lose this.
They don't have RP, but they do have splits still, so...
Blink, Walrus Punch, Wish now on the run.
He's
Whoa! He hit him from half health. He killed him from half health right there. The damage that just came in from Shad was outrageous. They'll also kill Boogie. He's gone for 100 seconds. Chain Frost comes in, but they'll get Sia.
I mean, SF bought back here as well, and they're still not going to be able to fight the Roche Pit. This is a big worry for them. I think even in the 4 as long as it's a 4 versus 5, so should be really happy. Yeah, they just get this for free so quickly with the tag team. Who got the Ags upgrade? I assume that, yeah, okay, Disruptor did. So if they can, now the thing is, when they Static Storm the SF, it's going to stop him from getting his BKB off, which is like, it's such a massive difference now. This Trow hits so hard. Butterfly E-Blade.
Yeah, I mean, he hit the SF from like half health to dead.
Radiant's middle barracks has
It was wild.
Radiant's bottom tower
Midrax goes
is under
down.
attack.
And look how quick the buildings die. Ouch.
Radiant's
Without the Legion, how do you fight as well?
Radiant's bottom barracks.
Abyssal Blade, RP, Static Storm. Ursa's still alive. They've already blown a lot here within this fight, but they've got Mega Creeps.
But the whole Ursa
Snowball
BKB
comes
duration
in,
is just
Shockwave through. Aram is dead, so is Sia. Shad taking a lot of damage here. Wish, though, trying to survive. It's a Requiem, but only in death. And now they'll get the kill there on Nanoya. He'll buy back immediately. Solari
no.
low, but he survives with the Glimmer Cave. Era gets the kill before he ends up dead. He'll be gone for 2 minutes, and GG will be called by GODSENT.
I mean, really well played by Viking. You know, nearly all of this game, they controlled the team fights, especially like the 10 to 15, 20-minute mark. They just completely controlled the map and just completely swung the net worth graph around. It was really well played by them. And I think this this Legion Commander was like the kind of the best pick they could have gone for, but I think a lot of the offliners they would have liked to have picked were taken out the pool. So yeah, not the best performance by a Legion Commander, but I feel like there's been so many of the games like this where I see a Legion get picked up and it feels really underwhelming.
Yeah, it felt like it was doing okay with the dual damage that it got 102, not bad at all, but 2, 8, and 14 at the end of the day just did not do enough. And Ursa fell off pretty hard too. The control there for Viking was just so much, and 13, 1, and 8, where we were talking about Chad early. Early on, we were like, he's just hitting from the low ground and doing so much damage, they need to get on the drow, and they never did.
Yeah, I mean, Shad did a really good job. The early Hurricane Pike helped him a lot, but again, just the overall team play of having so much team and frontliners to, you know, go in first for him just allows him to get all his damage off. Really difficult game for GODSENT, but, you know, hopefully for them, I'd like to see them not first phase this SF as well. Yeah, Wish is really good at it, but, like, if you are going to first phase it, you need to make sure you're picking the right heroes around it that offer you that team fight. Especially when you see this Mag Disruptor first pick, right? Like, you know that they're going to be wanting to group up as 5 most likely.